There are so many ways or approaches that you can use to resolve conflicts in your marriage, because everybody is different and your spouse is different. So you need to learn, you need to know your spouse so that you can adopt the right approach to resolve conflict amicably, okay, harmoniously, favorably in your marriage. Recently, I met some young couples and the husband said that if I offend my wife, what I expect her to do is that after sex, she can confront me. If I close from work, I don't want to hear anything. All that I want is that after sex, when we make love, after that, you can just tell me about your issues. And even if I'm not guilty, I will accept it. But the only approach that works for me is that you can tell me whatever that I did when we are done making love. When we have sex, after the act, you can just ask me about anything. You can approach me about anything. You can confront me about any issue, and it will work. So I told the wife that this is what you have to do. But the wife also said that for me, if I'm offended, we have to resolve the issue, because I don't even feel okay like touching you if we have not resolved the issue. I don't feel like coming to you. I don't feel like touching you because there is something that we need to talk about. But the husband wanted the wife to confront him after sex, okay, after they have made love. So after meeting them, we were able to resolve the issue. The husband said, I am the leader of the house, and I think that I want peace to prevail in my home. So I would rather allow my wife, anytime she is offended, she can tell me about it, and maybe after the act, then I will also tell her what I feel. So I will allow the wife to say whatever that she wants to say. I will not say anything, because at that time I don't think I am in the right mind, okay, or in the right spirit to say anything. So I will allow you to talk. Then after sex, if I have any response, then I will also give you your response. So the problem was resolved. So you need to learn. You need to learn who your wife is, who your husband is. You need to know him so that you can adopt the right approach. There are some spouses, when they offend you or when they do something that you don't like, no matter what, they will not accept their mistakes. They will keep on making excuses. This is who I am. You cannot change me. You can get out of the marriage. If you are married to somebody who has such a strong will, or somebody who is very stubborn, I believe that you have to approach whether you will get out of the marriage if the person is disrespecting you, or the Bible says the heart of a king is in my hands, and I can shift it wherever I want to shift it to. So you can put your husband's heart or your wife's heart in God's hands. And with man, it may be impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Because if you are married to such a spouse and you continue to talk about issues every day, this person will not accept his or her faults, and peace will not prevail in your marriage. So if you are married to somebody who has such a strong-willed personality, then it is important and imperative that you adopt this approach. You take the person's heart to God, because even if you talk to him or her about it, the person will not accept it. The person will not take responsibility. Okay, so it's a big cross. It's a big albatross, but I believe that there is nothing that God cannot do. And there is another spouse. Maybe if you are married to a spouse who accepts his faults or her faults, but will apologize, but will keep on repeatedly do the same thing over and over again, then that person, he has or she has the heart to change, but he or she doesn't know the approach, how to overcome that habit. So I have made a lot of videos about how to overcome addictive habit. It's a long process. I cannot use this video to talk about it. So you can listen, and then you can help your spouse, because somebody who apologizes immediately that he or she offends you, it means that the person wants peace to prevail, but he or she doesn't know the approach. He or she doesn't know how to overcome that addictive behavior, how to overcome that anger, how to overcome, okay, those filthy and those words, okay, that normally come out of the person's mouth. So you can learn how to overcome addictive behavior, and you can teach him or her so that the person can learn how to overcome, so that the person will not fall into that pit. And also there is the second one, the second spouse, or the third one. The third one, when the person does something, you have to learn how to approach him or her. There are some spouses, when they are eating, you can confront them. When they are sleeping at night, you can wake them up and you can talk to him or her. So you have to learn you have to know your spouse so that you can adopt the right approach. Okay, you have to know him or her. And as I said, the spouse that I spoke to you about, you can only confront him after sex. So you need to know your spouse so that you can adopt the right approach. So if your husband wants you to talk to him after he has finished eating dinner, then that is what you have to do. When he closes from work, he or she is saying that is when you can talk to me or you can confront me. Then you adopt that approach, okay? So you need to know him or her. Because if you don't do that, it will not work. Your strategy will not work. It will bring a lot of instability in the marriage. And the fourth one is somebody who accepts his or her faults and works on him or herself to be a better spouse. Because that person, he always accepts it. And you can see that the person is improving. The person is improving. The person accepts his or her faults, and he works on him or herself to be a better spouse. If you are married to such a person, then you are blessed. Somebody who accepts his or her faults, and does something about it. The person is open-minded, okay? The person has a growth mindset. You are blessed to have such a person, because nobody is perfect. So we must accept responsibility, and we must try to resolve conflicts in a way that will allow peace to prevail. But if you are married to the first one, the person who doesn't accept his or her fault, the person who is always making excuses and pointing his or her fingers at you and telling you that you can get out of the marriage, my dear, you can speak to God about it. There is nothing that God cannot do. Put the person's heart in God's hands, and I believe that God will come through for you. God bless you. I believe that when we get to know each other, okay, every marriage is different. So learn your spouse's language, whether it's love language or it's apology language, whatever it is, so that you can use the right approach and you can enjoy your marriage.